What's going on? So today is going to be a bit of a different day, different kind of vlog, whatever. Our student is sick, my student is sick, and our fun divers are off with the other dive masters. So today I want to do a really long dive, and that sounds pretty simple, but I don't want to get into too many details right now. But in the future we are hoping to do a Guinness Book of World Records world's longest dive on scuba. So open circuit scuba diving. So that's a lot of hours, a lot of training and preparations going into it. But since I'm not busy today here at the shop, we want to do a little bit of training. So what we're going to do is we're going to throw some tanks on, do a little bit of preparation and dive planning, and go do a long dive. I'm going to shoot for 5 hours today, and I might go a little bit longer. I just want to see how I feel down there. So we have a lot of preparation to do. One thing I'm worried about is boredom. So we're gonna bring cameras because I never get bored when I'm filming something cool. Another thing is hydration, so we're gonna have to plan on that. Another thing is drift and too much currents, you know, because we have, right now there's none, but in a few hours it changes. So we're gonna have to plan on that, because down there 6 hours, 5 hours, it could, I don't want to get washed down 10 miles away. Another thing is the cold, but today I'm not gonna wear a wetsuit or anything. I'm just gonna see how it goes, because it's only 5 hours. I want to see how my body can adapt or handle it. Then of course we got to plan on like nitrogen and no deco limits and bringing down enough air. So I'm going to be using the twin sets today. On the actual record dive, I'm only going to be doing side mount, because you could just switch out the tanks, have people keep bringing tanks, switch them out. I think the record right now is 150 hours. But today I'm going to do twin tanks on the back and 2 on the front, and I'm probably only going to do that. I'm going to go as long as those tanks last and then come up. So of course I have support, but they're not going to stay there the whole dive. What we're going to do is me and Elvis are going to go down and do a fun dive. We're going to stay at our predetermined depths, and then Elvis is going to come up when he's low on air. He's going to change the camera batteries, because that's the other problem, is damn camera's only gonna last like an hour or two, you know, so unless we sit down there and play chess or something, it's gonna be very boring. So he's gonna come up, change his tanks, change the batteries on all the cameras, do that, do his surface interval so it's safe for him to come back. Then he'll come back down. When he leaves me, I'm gonna shoot a surface marker buoy so that he can find me again, hopefully right out here in front of the resort. And then when he comes back, he'll bring the cameras again, and we'll do the second half of the dive. So he is bringing 2 tanks with him, so it should be a long dive for him as well. But he'll do 2 shorter dives. Right now that's the plan. Let's go set up the twin tanks, the side mounts, everything. There's a lot of preparation right now, so let's go. All right, Elvis is setting up the side mount configuration for him, because my side mount BCD is not here. I'm gonna have to do twins. But yeah, there's a lot of preparation getting this all set up perfectly. And then while he does that, I'm gonna have a couple as well, just to hook onto my rings. But I am setting up the twin tanks right now. So I got a separate twin bladder and back plate and harness and everything for my twin sets. Now I gotta set up the regulators, and then I'll go set up my side mount tanks, and we'll go from there. All right, with twins you got to put the right tank on first, angled like this so it goes under the other regulator. Then it's set up, good to go. 200 bar, almost. All right, and I got my short hose, my long hose. Okay, we're almost ready. I can go set up my stage tanks. So shout out to my friend Brian Davies. He actually sent me a wetsuit a while back, and we're in the tropics, so I never use it. So I'm actually gonna use it today. Of course, when we do the actual record, we'll do a dry suit. And I haven't even ordered one yet. I'm talking to some brands and companies, trying to work with them to find the right dry suit and the right company. But oh my god, it's hot right now. But I'll probably be glad I'm wearing this on hour 2. Elvis helping me set up this stage tanks. Even though we're not doing a deco dive, we need the side mount tanks. Gloves, got a little stick. I guess I'll bring jet fins, weight pockets, riding slate, extra mask, SMB, my boots, stage tanks. I think we're about ready. My dive computer, I'll bring an extra dive computer. All right, I think the dive stuff is all geared up and ready to go. Dive plan made, and now we can put the cameras and stuff together, and then we'll go. Got the EM5. We'll have the lights, snoot, second camera, TG7. Oh, I got a few extra spare lights to use, and then I got the GoPro, so I can film this this vlog. All right, but these big cameras are just to kind of keep my mind busy, so I don't give up, I don't get bored and just say, why am I doing this? I'll have something to do because I love filming. So oh, we got a couple other spare lights that we're actually testing out for the for a company. They're new. You ready? Crazy?
Pretty crazy.
It's gonna be awesome. So I'll give him this GoPro, or we can switch back and forth, it don't matter. He's gonna do half the dive, come up, do surface interval, change the batteries, especially in the lights, they don't last very long. Change the batteries in the other camera, do his surface interval, change his tanks, do whatever he's gotta do, and then come back and find me. When he does that, when he leaves me, I'm gonna shoot a surface marker buoy just in case I drift a little or something, or I get bored and I'm swimming around. He'll be able to find me. We also have Mark, Noel, Dive Master Noel, and Dive Master Alex to help monitor me. When he comes back, he's also gonna bring some water to drink for me. I think that's it. Let's get in the water. Let's do this. Right away here, I'm a little embarrassed by my tank placements and trim, but this particular harness doesn't have D-rings in the proper locations to clip the tanks to. I'm also going to be spending a good portion of this dive getting my buoyancy under control, as I'm carrying a ton of weight here, what with 4 tanks and a big camera. Now for my first snag in the road. I'm starting to feel super nauseous and realize that I have contaminated air in my first tank. I probably still have over an hour on this tank, so it could be an issue. I decided to deal with it, but it's a good lesson for next time. As my first tank gets close to being empty, it becomes much lighter, and you can see it floating at an upward angle now. Now it's time to switch tanks, and I'm collecting data on how long each one lasts so that I can get an idea how many I'll need for the long dive. In this case, 2 hours for a tank. Now I've switched to my right stage tank, and the proper thing to do in tech diving is to clip the valve bolt to my rear D-ring, getting it out of the way. So we are past hour 2, and Elvis needs to surface for a tank and battery change. So I'll send up my surface marker so he can find me after his surface interval. The kid is back, and he brought me some water. This was much needed, but we will definitely find a better method next time. I am sure I drank some salt water here. It was pretty gross. Nearing hour 4, that second tank is nearly depleted as well. Time to reel that SMB back in and get on with the dive. Four hours in now, almost, and again, 2 hours per tank. Now I switched to the twins and stow my empty. You could see all the particles flying by in the current and me finning without much headway. There's too much current. I finally made it back near the shop where I could drop some tanks on a mooring line. I felt naked and weightless after that. Hour 5 and my knees, legs, and ankles are pretty tired. I'm dealing with some massive cramps half the time. And it doesn't help that the entire dive so far has been plagued with surge and currents that I have to fight the whole time. But it's a little late. Already 5 hours or 300 minutes in, and I'm already exhausted. I'm now nearing the end, and even with plenty more air, if I wanted to continue another couple hours, I decide here to end the dive at the 6-hour mark. My ankles are definitely going to thank me. Ooh, just got changed, just finished the dive with Elvis. That was a little bit crazy. Made some mistakes, mainly going so far distance with the camera and 4 tanks. I'm a little worn out from that. I learned a lot for the actual record dive later, but I didn't want to waste the dive and not get footage, so we went really far. And I knew at the beginning of the dive, I said, Elvis, we could go down pretty far, but let's just go slow. I don't want to get worn out with these 4 tanks and the camera. But then we didn't see a lot of critters at the beginning, so we ended up going like really far. And so my legs and stuff, it was basically just constant frog kicks for 6 hours straight. So my legs and knees and ankles are just worn out. So when I do the actual record, we'll just be out here chilling for the whole time, not carrying a bunch of tanks, not even 2 tanks. I'll just have them, I'll be in my side mount, easy to clip on and off. I might even have like a cage or something to hang on to, and I'll just clip on the tank to there. So anyways, I'm really tired, cold, wet. I gotta get all my gear taken apart because we gotta get back to teaching the open water course tomorrow. So anyways, see you guys tomorrow.